Well, a wild scene inside the Santa Cruz County Jail where masked inmates armed with soap, books, and mattresses booby-trapped an entire cell block.
KPIX5 reporter Kiet Do tells us how a simple complaint led to a full-scale revolt. Kit?
Yeah, we're talking about 26 men here set aside in a section of the jail for some of them were hardened inmates. These are men that are facing charges of felonies, violent crimes. Some of them have long criminal histories. The tension simmered in this particular cell block for more than a day, and then it was on.
Once negotiations failed, they had blocked the room, they had made threats to our officers, and the decision was made at that point to make an entry about 2 p.m. on Tuesday. It was a mess.
We are seeing for the first time the scene of the chaos inside the L unit of the West Wing at the Santa Cruz County Jail. Deputies say it was a minefield of booby traps, bed sheets tied across the railing to act as tripwires, soapy water thrown on the floor to create a slipping hazard, mattresses used to block access up the stairs, and windows smashed out. This all started Monday when the inmates complained that it was too cold. They were offered extra clothes and blankets, but surprisingly, they said no. Maintenance crews were then called in to check the system.
The temperature that we noted in all the units was the high 60s, low 70s, so it wasn't cold by any means.
Do you think it was an excuse to just pick a fight?
Potentially.
As tensions rose, the inmates covered up their surveillance cameras and put sheets over the windows. They donned masks and socks over their arms as armor and put in earplugs to protect their hearing. So they were gearing up for battle.
Yes.
Officers dressed in riot gear entered the jail and were pelted with soap, books, and a mop bucket. The officers used sting ball devices filled with rubber pellets, similar to these, along with beanbag rounds. It ended very quickly after that. It took 15 workers 3 hours to clean up the mess. Is there a deeper issue here that you guys should be concerned about?
No, I really think that, this is a isolated incident. This does not happen in our jail. We have a pretty progressive jail that meets with inmates and discuss problems, and it's easy for them to file their grievances if they have issues with things that are going on.
And investigators have identified 2 of the men as the main instigators, and they could face charges of vandalism, conspiracy, and assault with a deadly weapon. Back to you.
Yeah, Kit, it seems like the inmates had access to a whole bunch of things to make trouble there. Is the sheriff making any changes to try to prevent this in the future?
Yes, so the spokesperson in our piece here said that he's been here 10 years. He has not heard of an incident of this scale in more than a decade. And so this is rare for them. They're going to do what they call an administrative review to see if they can kind of get ahead of this problem and prevent it from happening in the future.
All right. Kiet Do in Santa Cruz. Thank you, Kit.